Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today I intended to show you a 10-minute makeup look. I think it may end up being 10 or 15 minutes because in the process I ended up playing around a little more than I expected to with some pieces from the new ColourPop Disney designer collection. The reason why I wanted to show you a quick makeup look today is because our air conditioner is out, which in the fall normally shouldn't be a problem, but because of where we live, it is still 80 degrees today. So Brooke and I, my 13-year-old daughter, are trying to get out of the house. So my thought process was, if you want to get out of the house in a decent amount of time, but you still want to look polished and nice and not like you have no makeup on, how do you do that? I show you an option without this eye look. I show you a different lip look too. So I give you a few options within the video if you have a little bit less time than pulling out a palette and using the palette. If you want to see how I get out the door and look somewhat decent if I am a little short on time, just keep watching. I'm going in first with my Color Science Total Eye 3-in-1 corrector because I always do, and I'm using powder foundation today because I do want it to be fairly quick, and that is quick for me. I'm just trying to get out of this house as quickly as I can. It's just so hot in here. I am using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away concealer, which I absolutely love. It's a little messy around the sponge area, but it still applies pretty well. I'm actually going in with a dry sponge because I just didn't really want to bother to wet it this morning. Since I am doing powder foundation, I just don't need a damp beauty blender today. So what usually happens with concealer, because I do have pretty dark circles, I go in with one layer and then I go in and just put another smidge right where I have the darkness. Okay, because this covers on the face too, and I do have a little red spot going on here, I'm just gonna take my sponge on the sponge and just kind of knock some of that out really quickly, just down the nose. Take care of that. Any other little red spots that I happen to see, that way I don't have to really deal with them later. I did not use primer today, not on purpose, I just forgot. Now I'm taking the KKW baking powder and not baking with it. I'm in the shade 1. This is what I've really just been enjoying lately for my under eye area. I have several powders that I use, but this is just easy. I'm taking my Sigma E64, which is available in my brush set, which is linked below, and I'm pressing out any creases that I may have from looking down or looking all around. I don't like to use powder foundation underneath my eye because it changes the color of the under eye area that I just concealed. It makes it a little darker, so I use translucent powder. I'm saving the eyes for last, and I'll tell you why I'm doing that in a little bit. I do have a little bit of redness today. I used a product earlier in the week that I don't think really agreed with my skin. The powder foundation that I've been enjoying lately is the Wander Beauty Wanderlust powder foundation. I'm in the shade medium. It's got a little sponge in the top and then it opens like that. And I just go right in with a fluffy brush. This is the Delium Tools 959 brush. It's nice and fluffy and soft. It picks up the right amount of product for me, and I just kind of dab and buff it all over the face. Sometimes I spend a little bit more time buffing it in, but not today. So then sometimes what I'll do is I'll take that sponge and I'll go in on areas where I typically get shinier or, might lose coverage during the day with powder foundation, and I'll just press it in those areas. And that's it. On days like this, I'm just kind of doing the all-in-one contour bronzing thing. I'll either reach for the Marc Jacobs Tantastic or Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow. I think I'm just going to do the Marc Jacobs, keep it simple, because it's quick and easy to reach into. You can just use a big fluffy brush and call it a day and be done. So I'm just sweeping this all over just to give myself a little bit of warmth. This brush is an IT Cosmetics Velvet Luxe number 313, and I'm kind of pinching it right now and just keeping it concentrated towards the back. So I have a little bit of definition, but I'm not just out and out contouring because I don't really like to contour with bronzer, but this just kind of enhances that sun glowy look. And I will also sweep it down the neck really quickly just to make sure my face is not darker than my neck. Then I'll take just a universally flattering blush like the Tom Ford Inhibition, something easy that goes with everything. The blush in the Cali Contour palette, the Smashbox palette, is another one that I use. It's just a really good neutral blush because on days like this, I sometimes don't even know what I'm wearing yet. So I just want something that's gonna go with everything. Something that I don't skip is lip liner because my lips are just kind of uneven in terms of fading with age. So I will quickly put on lip liner. This is MAC Subculture. And to keep it natural, I'm using the Ariel lipstick from the ColourPop Disney collection. It's a great everyday neutral. It's really pretty and creamy. I'm really enjoying this lipstick a lot. My favorite brow pencil for quick brows is the NYX Precision Brow in Ash Brown. I sometimes mix it up and use taupe just to give a little dimension, but I don't have time to do that today, so I'm going in with just the ash brown, and I am just quickly filling in where I need it. I really hate doing brows on camera. I feel like there's so much pressure and then I can't talk when I do it. So it also feels incredibly boring, but I can see where it would be helpful with a product like this that does, you know, need to be kind of turned on its side and used in a certain way. I think that looks even, maybe. Now, if I had time, I would go in with a quick brow gel like the Tarte Busy Gal Brows. I have it in the shade taupe, which also helps give me dimension if I am using a deeper brow product throughout the brow. This is optional, and if I was really pushed for time, which I'm really not today, I don't have to be ready, you know, in 10 minutes. If you've been with me a while, you know I'm a big fan of finishing powder because it really helps just give a soft diffused look. And I've been asked a lot if I still use finishing powder when I use powder foundation. I do. It doesn't make anything look more powdery. It still gives that airbrush look, and it can help if you're in a hurry and you're putting on your bronzer and maybe you just didn't have time to completely blend it well. I pretty much always use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in Medium Plus. I got a new finishing powder brush that I am loving. It's the Sonia G. I think this is just called the Face Brush something. I'll have it linked down below. Michelle Wong raved about it. She's right about this brush. It's super soft. It doesn't ever disturb the makeup underneath. It applies it the way it should. Well, first of all, let's talk about how that just diffused everything together. That's what a finishing powder does. It doesn't look any more powdery, it just looks a little more perfected. So the finishing powder brushes I was using before, anytime I would take that brush and I would dip it into this product specifically, the powder would go everywhere, all over the package. This really picks up the powder in the right amount and places it where it needs to go, and it doesn't fly everywhere. Like, there's no excess product. It's amazing the way it does that, and it is super soft. I feel like I'm wasting a lot less product with this brush, so I feel like this was a really good investment for me to make. I feel like this would be a really great brush to apply powder foundation with too, not just finishing powder. The reason why I didn't go into the eyes at the beginning is because, hey Brooke, look who popped in while I was talking.
Hello.
Are you hot down here?
Yeah, not that much.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel terrible right now. What was I saying?
Something about a brush.
I was talking about a brush. No, wait, leave that cracked, babe.
Oh.
Air. The reason why I didn't go into the eyes at the beginning is because sometimes I will just curl my lashes, put mascara on, and go. And that is the 10-minute look. So if you want to just, you know, get out the door and go, this is good. As long as the skin is looking good, you could see how I could just curl my lashes and go. Actually, I'm going to do that really quickly. And then I'll just kind of backwards show you what sometimes I'll do really quickly to my eyes. We'll do that. I'm just going to curl it with the method that I use. I'll link the video below showing how I do my lashes. I mean, this is fine. Sometimes I feel like having your lashes curled and having just a naked eye, even if you have discoloration on your eye, can be really pretty. Now, let's just pretend like I have not already put the mascara on, because normally I would be doing this pre-mascara. I do prep my eyelids with a primer or a concealer, something that's very quick. I'm also going to set that primer with powder. If I don't, I'll get little creases during the day. This might be the quickest Disney ColourPop tutorial you've ever seen, because I'm going to go in and use some of these beautiful shades really, really naturally. Sometimes I would go in and use bronzer under the eyes and in the crease. Today I'm going to go in and use Grumpy as a transition on my Sigma E40. I like that this has kind of a pinky blushy tone, and I'm going a little bit heavier towards the crease, the actual crease, and a little lighter up towards the brow bone. And I'm just kind of toggling back and forth between both eyes, because for me on quick days, that is just quicker and easier. I'm taking that same Sigma E40, dipping it back in, pinching it, and going underneath my eye. And this just helps open up the eye a little bit. I'm really loving this palette because you can use it for a variety of different looks. You don't have to go straight neutral. Now I'm going into Chip with my Sonia G Smudger 1 brush, just putting it a little bit on the brow bone. I'm actually going to take a combination of Chip and Prince Charming so that it highlights and gives just a tiny bit of shimmer. And I'm going to do that same thing on the inner corner. Normally, I probably wouldn't do anything to the inner corner on days like this. Now I'm kind of wanting to show you this palette. And now I'm going to take a tiny bit of Beast on my Sigma E25 and just very, very lightly swirl and kind of take it up above the crease, which is good to do if you have a hooded eye. And I'm actually bringing it in along the lash line. I didn't take a lot of product, and I'm using a very light hand to sweep this about from halfway up, just kind of in this upwards motion, really diffusing it and swirling it. This is gonna give me my lift, and I'm probably not gonna use any liner today. You could go back in with that Sonia G Smudger 1 brush or any kind of a smudger brush and make that a little bit deeper right along the lash line if you wanted to. I thought about taking Roxy or Fairy Godmother, which are these two shades you can see on my finger, but I really want to use the Super Shock shadow in So This Is Love on my lid. Oh, these feel so smooth. And really, if you wanted to leave out that entire outer corner deeper shade, you could completely do that and just put this on the lid, and it would be super, super pretty and put together. Going back in with another coat of mascara. This is Belle. I just wanted to put this on because, I don't know, I just kind of liked it. It was a different shade of pink. So I also have Snow White here, which is a red, which doesn't really go with the mauve-y eyes that I have on today. This didn't start out being a ColourPop Disney video, but I did end up showing you a few pieces from it. So this is what I ended up with. I really just wanted to give you guys a quick way to get ready, but it morphed into something else, which I still think you can do really quickly. I don't think that took really a long time. So this might be a 10 to 15 minute makeup tutorial. I'm not sure what I'm even calling this yet. I hope you enjoyed seeing a peek at some of the Disney designer collection too, and seeing how to use some of that in a quick way if you wanted to. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I've really been enjoying lately is the Luke for me, whether I use a primer underneath. I feel like it would be really great to actually apply powder foundation too. I feel like it'd be really great to apply powder. I feel like it would be a really great blush to apply. Why can't I talk today? I feel like it would be a really great brush. Look, so if you want to just really get out the door. So, oh my gosh, my nose is running. Ah! So we're not gonna wear this one today. Thanks, Luke. That's awesome. But yeah, and I need to show you guys the rest of this collection. I need to show you guys the rest of this collection in another video because it didn't start out to be, oh my gosh.